Bub Nation, it's a wonderful day. I know that many of y'all have been waiting for this stream for like a month because it's been a while since we've been able to connect. But I am here, man, with one of my best co-hosts out here, Rawhide Media, for you. Rawhide, how are you feeling right now? We got a lot to dive into. How are things going for you? How are you feeling with that Travis Hunter Heisman Award? Let's just get into it, man.
Listen. Let me just say, I am extremely happy about that. Right. So I'm gonna put a Lawrence with a U. I'm gonna put one of his numbers. Yeah, man. I won the bet. I won $420. I'll just leave it at that. $420, bro. After it all came in and after I saw everything I needed to see, yeah, it was about $420.
You'll take it.
I'll take it. I'll take it. I'm
that.
gonna put a Lawrence. That's how Lawrence described his, so I'm gonna describe it that way.
Man, I love it, man. It was so beautiful, man. And I feel like with how the whole ceremony went, with them saving him for the last, I mean, you knew that he was going to win it. You know, Vegas odds, ESPN had an article come out last week where they're like, yeah, it's not looking good in terms of the amount of payout. Now, can you remind us, in case we might have forgotten, man, what kind of odds did you get on him earlier on in the summer when you put down that bet? Do you remember?
Unfortunately, it opened at plus 6,500. I couldn't get the plus 6,500. I only got the plus 5,000. And yeah, I had to get it a couple of times, right? So
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so hey, yeah, bro. So I hate it. You know what I'm saying? Again, I know I'm speaking on him here, but he don't mind. Lawrence got it at I think he got it at plus 6,500. I couldn't get that because I'm not able to get those. I'm not able to get DraftKings and FanDuel. So y'all can jump on stuff a lot earlier than I can.
Well, I'm glad that Lawrence was able to hit on it, man, because I remember, man, he had some money on the Buffs winning the national title last year. So I'm glad he can make up for his losses the previous year, and I'm sure he won some with Michigan winning the title. So that's great to see as well. But man, I got to ask you, I haven't looked into your opinion on this, man. What did you make of, especially over this last month, with what was going on between like the Twitter war, the propaganda campaigns, against Travis Hunter, and Ashton Genty kind of got brought into that, Boise State fans being a little weird. But how did you feel about how the voting went out? Obviously, we all know, how you feel like the vote should have gone. But I'm curious to just hear your opinion on that whole thing over the last month or so.
People always campaign, you know what I'm saying, towards voting time. So I can wrap my mind around it. I get the pushback, right? Genty had a phenomenal season. Let's don't act like he didn't. He had a phenomenal season, but I think he had a problem. I think his problem is that he was unable to break Barry Sanders' record in the regular season, right? Because we've had Run Dang. We've had a lot of running backs that rush for a lot of yards. Now, granted, I think he's third best season ever, I think.
Yeah.
I'm coming off the dome. I'm not looking at anything. So I think if you're gonna play in a G5, he needed to win, right? He needed to win not win, but he needed to break Barry Sanders' record. And for those who don't know, if I'm not mistaken, Barry Sanders did that in 11 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. 11 games, bro. Yeah, hey, I would implore anybody, man, if y'all can, just go watch some of the games during Barry Sanders' that record-breaking season. If you watch, man, it looked like he was in the Pee-wee. Like he played Pee-wee football, and he was that Pee-wee football. You got the best athlete against everybody, bro. It was simply amazing. But I know that we're not here to hear that. But yeah, that's so. I didn't see they had a big argument. Honestly, I thought it was a more asinine argument was Scatterput.
Okay, give it to me.
I thought that was the most asinine argument of them all. I've heard that. I saw a guy say he's the best running. I literally saw a guy that people listen to say he's the best running back he's ever seen. I was like, oh my God. I was like, did he just start watching this season? I was like, the best running back he's ever seen? That's insane. So I thought that was more delusional than argument Gentry winning the Heisman than that.
Yeah. When I was jumping, don't get me wrong, I'm a Scatterboo fan, but yeah, I kind of had to jump on his bandwagon as propaganda for against Gentry. You know what I'm saying? Because his team won a Power Four conference championship and all that, and then you put Gentry on Boise State. Doesn't he eat as well? That's kind of how I feel about it. But I think you're totally right. I think it would have been. I know this was a close Heisman race, but I think it would have been a more legitimate of an argument if he had done it. If he had broken that record in 11 games, I think that's definitely something you got to give props to. But yeah, you can't be one Power Four awards playing G5 competition. Yeah, like that's just what it comes down to. Yeah. I was surprised that he's still got as many first place votes as he did, but man, it is what it is. I know that there was the snaps not a stat type of thing. I saw a video posted that somebody shared with me yesterday. It was so funny. This kid talking about how Travis Hunter only plays two ways because Colorado is so bad they need him on both sides. I just love seeing those sorts of things still thrown out there. I find it so funny, but it all worked out the way that it needed to. And what did you think, man, of his speech?
I think he did a good job on the speech. Yeah. I liked it. He's not one to do a lot of talking, right? So
no.
I thought he did, and the emotion. He doesn't seem to be a very emotional man either. No. So I think he general hospital did. Yeah. Or if people don't know what that is, he soap opera did, bro. So hey, shout out, bro. Shout out. I think he did, man. Excellent. I've always been an extreme fan of Travis. Well, you know this already, but yeah. I've always been a fan of him, how he carried himself and all that, bro. So I would, I'd like for them. I would have liked more of them to be more like him than not.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. And about the other awards that he got, man. What did you think about him winning the Bolitnikoff, as well as the Bednark for the best defensive player in college football? Being left out of the Thorpe Award, I thought was kind of strange, but nonetheless came back with a lot of hardware, which was sick.
Yeah, excellent. And once he won those awards, I was like, yeah, my Heisman's in the bag. I was like, it's in the bag, bro. I was like, so that all that did was just gave me, it just put my heart at ease as far as him winning the Heisman. So I'm glad that he won. Is he is he the best at either position? I could see why people would say no, but the sheer fact that he's so pivotal for the team and he does it on both sides. Like, to me, good at both positions and playing them all the time outweighs the best at one position, bro.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So, because not to make it about me, but I remember a time when I was in the military. The dude told, and I won an award, but I wasn't the best at anything, right? But I was good at a lot, and one of my mates told me, said, "Hey, man," because I was like myself, man, I'm surprised I won, and he was like, "Man, that's because you're good at a lot of things."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, that's kind of how it plays out. And you can't deny playing over 100 snaps a game in and game out type of fatigue on your body and what that does to you. I think you can't argue that. Bro, there's no argument with that. So,
yeah.
And he's crucial to the team. You know how I feel about that. They had 2 players on the team, bro.
Yeah, we don't win these games without him, man. We just don't. And yeah, I've never seen a player impact the overall team from the boundaries the way that he does. I'm curious, Raw, because it's been interesting listening to like some of the NFL people talk about him. I will hear, I think he's the best corner in the draft. I think he's the best wide receiver in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel like right now he's gonna get that opportunity to play both ways. You know, I don't know if it's gonna be 100 snaps, but I think he is. But what do you think? Is going to happen come draft day or come his time in the NFL? Do you see him being more of a wide receiver or corner right now?
Man, that's an excellent question. That is it. I honestly don't know. I would. I don't know, man. I I really don't know. I would have. I don't know, bro. I honestly don't know. I'm trying to think. I think this though. If he plays mainly wide receiver, then he probably will not be playing corner.
Yeah.
Okay. If he plays corner, then I think the chances of him playing some snaps at wide receiver is much greater.
Yeah.
So I think he would have, in order for, if you want, I think if you want to see him play both ways, he has to get drafted as a corner. And they put him in some plays here and there, maybe on offense.
Mm-hmm.
If he's drafted as a wide receiver, then you won't see him play both ways. I don't think.
No. Yeah, it's tough because I feel like, I mean, I've even felt it from being an armchair GM for my Broncos. Like when I did a mock draft the other day where I traded up into the top 5 to get him. And because I'm like, man, we got a huge need at a wide receiver, and it never hurts to have great corners like that, especially opposite of Pat Surtain. I feel like, man, some of these coaches, they're going to feel the pressure, man, because the NFL cycles through these guys so quick. I mean, if he truly is your best corner and your best wide receiver, I think it's going to be hard to keep him off the field because he's going to want to do it. So I don't know what happens, but I feel like for him to get paid, I feel like the highest amount as possible. I think he at minimum needs to be taking some snaps at wide receiver, man. Like that's how I feel like it needs to shake out. But
so are you saying that he needs to be drafted at wide receiver? Is that what you're saying?
I think he needs to be drafted like with the intention to play him at wide receiver no matter what. That's like, and so I would still play him at corner. Like until he shows that, hey, that might be too much in an NFL 17 game regular season, all this sorts of stuff. Like maybe he's got to put on a little bit of weight to his frame to be able to handle a little bit more of the physicality of the NFL. But I feel like coaches are going to feel the pressure to put their best team out there on offense and defense every single time. And I want to be surprised if he's out there just like he's been out there for CU doing it, man.
So you think that's possible, huh?
I think it is, man. I didn't really think it would be like come the beginning of this year because, again, I think that, there is an argument of like, can he withstand, like all the hits and stuff like that, all the snaps and, the liver thing was kind of a freak injury. And I know he got his shoulder kind of banged up a little bit, but, he was playing again the next week. So I think he's going to get that opportunity till otherwise. That's just me.
I got you.
Because I mean, let's think about it, man. Like he goes to like a team like the New York Jets, and hopefully not. But let's say he goes to the Jets, man, and you know how much of a pressure cooker the Jets are in the New York media. I just think that those coaches, they're going to be dragged through the coals if they're not doing everything in their power to win, and they're going to be highly criticized for keeping Travis Hunter on the sidelines when he's healthy.
That's interesting. That's interesting, man. I mean, it could. It's hard for me to see an owner allowing their investment to be that, because it's not about the season, right? It's about the contract. So it's hard for me to see an owner allowing their investment to be out there that much. That's hard, bro.
Yeah.
That is extremely hard.
And I know it's a little bit of hindsight, but, as a Broncos fan, when we traded for Champ Bailey, man, like I wish that we had spent more time putting him on offense. I think he maybe had 2 catches in his career with the Broncos. And I mean, we were running some wide receivers out there like Ashley Lee, just busts, man, just busts. Where I think he could have done it a little bit more on offense as well. But of course, one of the greatest corners of the 2000s, whatnot. Really not too much to critique, but it would have been nice to see. That's how I feel about it, man. It would have been nice to see.
I got you.
So
yeah. I don't know. It's interesting, man. I'm interested to see how they play him out. I'm interested to see that. I am.
Most definitely.
How fast is he? Is he that? And that's the next question. See, everybody in the NFL is extremely fast.
Yes. I mean, he doesn't look the fastest out there, but he's always pulling away from everybody. Like when he's got the ball in his hands, and like his quickness, I feel like his quickness is probably better than his straight line speed, but his straight line speed is still really darn good. It's hard for me to judge speed, man, but like what he'll run in the 40 or whatever. If I'm him, man, maybe he'll do it, right? Because of his competitive nature, but I don't even feel like there's a reason for him a need for him to test.
No, I don't have him. Yeah, I talked to somebody. I was talking to somebody. As a matter of fact, I was talking to Alpha about that. I don't even think he's not doing none of that, bro.
Yeah. There's no reason for him. He'll
probably pull a Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah. There's just no reason for him to.
Yeah, there's absolutely no reason for that. Yeah. No reason. Mm-mm.
Well,
but
what were you going to say?
No, go ahead.
I was going to transition, Rob, because we got a lot of time to make up for. A lot of this is just me dropping the ball. I've been sick over this last month. I've been out of my sorts, so to speak. But this is a great time, man, to circle back on like some of the things we were right on, some of the things we were wrong on come our preseason predictions. And there's something that I want you to talk about that I felt like you were the only one saying on here that you ended up being right about, man. And that was Julian Lewis. You said, I don't want him committing right now. And I don't think that he commits until, the season's pretty much wrapped up, which is exactly how it played out. I want to hear you speak a little bit about that, as well as, how do you feel about how Julian Lewis coming here, and what do you expect from him being on the Buffs?
Yeah, you talked about that time that I think what he did he do a reaffirmation or something to USC or something during that time?
Yeah,
people was losing their minds, right?
Yeah.
Bro, they was losing their minds. So I was like, bro, it's okay. That's not a big deal. I would much rather him commit later on than right now. Why? Because people not shooting at you, right? They're shooting at USC while he's there. And if he has any idea of leaving, it's easier. I tell you, I think it's easier to flip players like that than it is to hold on to them. Right? And generally, early commitments is really more so to hold a spot than it is more so that they really want to be there. And people need to also understand that too. So I never was one to say, oh, I want him to. I even mentioned it in a particular Discord, not my own. I said, guys, why do you all want him so? Why do y'all want him to? I said, bro, just wait, calm down. Oh my God, do you know how many art? I mean, dude didn't go crazy, but I'm just like, bro,
we just won our Christmas in July.
Yeah, that's bro, I know, bro. I know, bro. I was just like, all right, bro. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm happy for him with Juju. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy that he came there. I think that's a good pickup as far as it makes recruiting look a lot better. I will say though, I hope they pick up a starting quarterback out of the portal. Yeah. I don't think with the type of team that they're building, I wouldn't want him to be my starting quarterback at the beginning of the season. If you're looking to have a good season. Now, if you're looking, because let's be honest about it, Coach Prime, he got another mulligan season coming up, right? So next season, he has every excuse in the world if he's bad, and it's okay, right? So if he wins 3 games next season, nobody should bat an eye about that. You lost 2 first-round draft picks.
This is house
top
money.
5.
Yes. It's house money no matter what.
Yeah, it's house money, bro. Yeah. Yes, exactly. So if you want to just say, okay, I got a season that I know I got a mulligan. So what I'll do is that I'll just go ahead and prepare him and let him play, let him get his bumps and bruises, right? And then what I'm really playing for is the season after that. Now, if he do it that way, then I'm good. I think that's a good strategy if that's what he plans on doing. But if he wants to come in and compete, I feel like he's gonna need to go get him a quarterback out of the portal.
Yeah, yeah. And Colin has brought that up as well when I had him on a few weeks ago about how he would like to have a veteran quarterback with starting experience at it as well. We'll see what happens with Caden Salter. I guess it's down between us and Syracuse on that note. But yeah, I would love to just bring in overall competition experience into the room. I'm very excited to watch Juju. You got to plan for all scenarios, and you never want to put too much pressure on true freshman players, no matter how great they are. That's just not, that's just not good stuff. And they realize that. It's why you're seeing us go after Caden Salter, for instance, at the quarterback position. We'll see what happens with it, but man, I love to see that he's here. And I don't know if you watched too much of the high school tape, Rawhide, but one thing that I immediately thought of you with when watching how he plays is I think he's a great fit for what Pat Shurmur traditionally has liked to do. I think we might see a little bit more Rawhide style of football this next year. He looks pretty comfortable under center, don't you think?
I hadn't seen a whole lot. I think I've seen some of what you put out, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I you know me, I like that anyway. Yeah. I like that brand of football. And coming into it, and if he is your quarterback, right, you need to be able to protect him, right? So you need to play a style of offense where you're not necessarily dependent on him. You just want to make him make some good throws, right, to keep the chains moving. Mm-hmm. So I hope now this again. I know this is me hoping now that they. I know it sounds like I'm cursing when I say this. I hope that they even more invest into the running game. And I know that sounds I know people might say, hey, Rawhide, you being delusional for saying that. They have told you who they are. Yeah, maybe. But if they can do that and protect the quarterback coming in, I think that'll be better for them overall.
Yeah. And I think that, there's been some complaints on, maybe the run game being pretty basic this year as well, which, didn't help the development of that. I would still like to see a full revamp, of kind of line play outside. Like, I don't care if we bring in a ton of new guys and Jordan Seaton's the only starter from this past year. Like, I just want to bring in and try and elevate the floor of the room as much as we can at the very least. But yeah, it would be nice. Maybe you can run some more sets under center and kind of get a little bit more creative with the run game. I think that Julian Lewis is just really comfortable behind center, and I think that that's really, really intriguing. And I think that at the end of the day, at Shedeur, of course, he's going to be a top pick, but I just don't ever feel like he was that comfortable going under center. And I think that you're going to see Pat Shurmur, I think, have a little bit more influence on the play call next year. Because you don't have a top 5 pick at the quarterback position.
Yeah, you do not have a top 5 pick at the quarterback position. No. That matters. That matters a lot. Yeah. That matters extreme. That matters a lot. Yeah, you're right. And it's not just them. I mean, the majority of college football teams, that the lack of plays under center. But let's call it what it is that some quarterbacks just can't turn their back to the defense. No. And then recognize that the processing just ain't there. So I get it. I get it. Not saying that's Shedeur. I'm just saying the majority, 90% of they work not under center. You know what I mean?
That's right. Yeah. Okay, now I'm gonna make fun of you for some of the things you were wrong on, as cool. I'm sure you can remember some of the things that I was wrong on as well. But I do gotta call this one, man, because I mean you called it. You called it. You said, man, if we get blown out by Nebraska, it ain't the end of the world, right? Isn't that what you said? So you had us losing that Nebraska game, and I mean, what we go down the stretch after that? I forget. Only 2 losses after that. Finishing the regular season 9-3. It really kind of turned out to be I felt the turning point of the season. Would love for you to speak to that and just the development that you saw from the team after week 2.
Right. Yeah, I think the team. Well, first off, I think it was after the Baylor. Was it after the Baylor game? They did start handing the ball off more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And I know I made a lot of people angry because I said, well, they started playing the rawhide way. So I think they became they hated that, bro. But it is what it is. So I think they tried to make the offense a little bit more balanced, and I think that helped a lot.
Yeah.
The next thing is that I think people have heard me say this. I don't want it to sound like I'm taking credit away, but let's be honest. This conference was just god awful. Let's just be honest about it.
Oh, I knew you were going to bring this up. I will fight you on this ride. I will fight
Dave,
you on
listen,
this.
Dave, you bled for the university. You actually went there. I have utmost. You are you are who you supposed to be. So your pushback is fine with me. That's what you're supposed to do. But bro, because okay, let's look at it this way. If Utah, Oklahoma State, and Kansas State had been who they were supposed to be, those 3 teams, they would have got a second team in the playoffs. It's because of them is why they was fighting as a G5 to get one team in.
It was none of our guys that meet the eye of like the beauty.
Right. Exactly.
They all sucked. They all sucked.
Right. So you that's number one, right? You look at how they ranked them, obviously, right? So they'd agree with me. And I'm like, I mean, at one point before Army, at one point, there was a strong possibility that Pac-12 would have got one team in.
Big 12?
Yeah, the Big 12. I'm sorry, the Big 12, right? Because if Army had to beat Notre Dame, that would have just kicked them out. That would have kicked the Big 12 out. It would have kicked them out.
Yeah.
That's a fact. So again, I'm not taking nothing away. It's just that the people that's supposed to have carried the banner didn't carry the banner. So if Colorado had 2 losses, but they finished second place behind the championship loser, and the loser was Kansas State versus Oklahoma State, all with 1 loss, they probably would have made the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is why I'm saying, Rod, this is what we got to do. If you're Brett Yormark, you got a PR, you got a perception issue with the conference. I hate it, but you almost have to do it to troll them. You got to just go to 8 conference games, man. I think what you said plays out, for instance, for Kansas State, if you're playing 8 conference games.
Say that one more time again.
Like, you're talking about, like, Kansas State would have gotten the respect that they had. Like, if they had not finished 9-3, what you got to play. Because at the end of the day, I think that this is the best conference overall from top to bottom in terms of parity. That's how I feel about it. We can fight about the SEC. We can fight about that. But I think the bottom of the Big 12 beat the bottom of the Big, and that's how I feel about it. That's how I feel about it.
I get it.
And ACC, like, no doubt about it. I mean, you had Cal doing things well in the ACC this year, but that's why if you're Brett Yormark, you're getting screwed by the perception of the conference, the voters, all of that. I think you just got to drop to 8 conference games. What do you think about that?
It wouldn't matter depending on who they play on that outside one. So if they're gonna play another Power 5, depending on who it is.
No, you play some cupcake in November, like the SEC does it, man.
Okay, well, yeah, you're right. That's fine. I mean, that's perfectly fine, and that will work for you. But you still going to get shot the same way they got this year if it's the same people Take note. The worst team in the Pac-12 won the Big 12. Hold on. BYU, who is a Power 5 people, just to let you all know this, has never, ever been looked. When that's hyperbole. BYU does not carry the weight even a Kansas State or Wisconsin does. Okay? They finished second. Iowa State did Iowa State things. Then you had the second worst team in all of the Pac-12 come in fourth. What are we talking about? TCU was bad last year. They came in fifth.
Dude, the Pac-12 got the respect they deserve this year, man. Because they've done it in all the conferences they've joined, man. Like
they've played well. They
played very well.
They played well. They played well. Yeah, they played well. And another thing too. Last point on it. Half your conference is G5. Meaning that
talking about the Pac-12 or the
Big 12, Big 12, Big 12, Big 12. When the Pac-12, whenever they add teams, they just got the name Pac-12, but they're still G5 teams. The Big 12 did exactly the same thing. Bro, UCF, Houston, Cincinnati, if you go back farther, Utah. Right?
Oh, I mean, we can't talk about Utah as a team.
Well, I'm just saying. But what I'm saying though, Utah was never one that had the roots as far as respecting college football, bro.
Okay,
so
I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
There's
so this is the deal.
Prestige yet,
right? Hold on, TCU. If you go back a little bit, bro, it's just like when you look at the Big Ten, and honestly, I got to give it to Pac-12. I don't want to. Well, the old Pac-12, I got to give you credit. But those teams wasn't made up of G5 teams. Do you see what I'm saying? No,
I understand what you're saying.
SEC. Name a team that's in the SEC that was ever G5. I mean, off the top. All right, obviously, that's difficult, right? Yeah. Big Ten, maybe Rutgers.
Yeah.
Or were they Big East? I think they were Big East even.
Yeah, they're Big East.
So not even them.
Yeah, because they were Big East like when Miami was Big East, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And so now it makes sense why Boise State's given the benefit of the doubt, even though I totally disagree with them getting a bot. Man, that is just, I mean, that's a whole other conversation, getting into the whole, just the playoffs make no sense. Why aren't we reseeding all of that? But
I don't, Dave. Oh my God. Thank you, Dave. Please reseed. Oh my God!
Like, isn't that just logic? Like basic logic?
Why? Why would you reseeding? If I was Oregon, I'd be peed off. If I was Oregon, I'd be like, "This is not." If I was Oregon, I would have told them. I said I would have rather been the 5th seed.
I know.
When did Utah go to the national championship, Dave?
Man, I can't even tell you, but. It was probably before Colorado. Probably
before I was born. But anyway, go ahead. I'm just saying, bro.
Man, but I love it, man. I love having you on here because you're gonna ruffle the feathers of me and everybody. I love it.
I hadn't said anything that's not factual.
Oh, well, okay. Now, if you're talking about the brands of the Big 12. The Big 12 teams, I understand, man. Like Boise State, as much as I think it's an abomination that they play with blue turf. Like, you can't give a Heisman to a guy who plays on blue turf half the year. I just think it's ugly. I think it's disgusting. I think it's a gimmick. But those, that school definitely has more prestige than some of the schools in the Big 12. I will give you that, Ra. I will give you that.
Okay, so I got a question for you, Dave.
Yeah,
Dave, I got a question for you.
Okay.
Let's say next year, Boise State joins the Big 12. Yes. So all that feelings that you got on the inside that you just said, that stuff is not true no more because they wearing a different badge.
Mm-hmm.
So it is true or not true?
Oh, I'm flipping my opinion 100% if they join the Big 12. Yeah.
Okay. You win. Hey, Dave, hold on. You're right. I'm wrong, man. If that's the case, you're right. I'm wrong. You win. I'm tapping out. If that's all it takes.
Yeah, man. Yeah. The discussion this offseason is how can we get Boise State to join the Big 12, because obviously they are viewed as an added plus to the Big 12. As much as I've hated that argument this offseason, that's what we got to do, man. I think at the very worst they're a middling team in the Big 12. So let's bring them in here, man. Let's see how they can do on a Power 4 schedule, man. Yeah, that's that. But yeah, my propaganda is totally gonna switch when they're part of the family. But right now they're the opposition, man. You gotta put them down.
And I know it sounds like I'm not doing that. That is not. And I believe the voters in that playoff room is not far off from my thinking. What do you think?
Well, this was really humbling for me, and I didn't put this on a video. I should have, because people know this is Big 12 propaganda, and some of it is legit fact. It's based in facts. But I said, man, even bring the BCS voting back. I feel like that would do it. But when we looked at the BCS calculators, because you can still look at that sort of stuff, man, Boise State was still coming in over anybody in the Big 12, man. And that was frustrating. That was frustrating to see. Now, I think, man, they probably shouldn't have been given the benefit of their ranking to start the year. And I think that had a big influence on how we saw things develop down the stretch. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't too far off from the BCS stuff, so I'm not going to fight with it too much. I do think they have to get rid of the automatic bids or the automatic buys for conference winners. I think that is ridiculous. Mm-hmm. It just needs to go to the best 4 teams.
I kind of agree with you. I kind of also agree with something you said earlier about the reseeding. I think the easy fix is this, right? If you're in the top 12, you're in the playoffs, but you know what I'm saying? But you're going to be reseeded. Now, if you're in the top 12 and lose in your bowl game, mm-hmm. then the pool goes from 12 plus N being the team outside the top 12 that won their conference championship. You follow what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it would be, so if it's one win, it's 13 that's in, you reseed it and you may be out.
Yeah. Yeah. I would be okay with that. Yeah. I would also, especially if we do bring Boise State into the Big 12, I'm fine with just eliminating an automatic bid for that 5th conference highest ranked conference winner. I'm fine with that. I feel like that thing was just given for Boise State. That's how I felt about it. Now, I know some people with the academies might be a little upset, but as much as I love seeing Army, Navy, the academies do, I don't want to see the triple option, man, in the college football playoff. I just don't want to see it.
I got you. I don't disagree with you either, because I'm more about the I like best, right? Not necessarily deserving, but it's also deserving. And I get why I can wrap my mind around it, right? Because college football under the old system, you got to admit, it was coming very regional specific, bro. If you wasn't in the southeast or the north part of the country, then more than likely you turning, as far as college football goes, you turning the TV off after the season's over, right? Mm-hmm. The West Coast. That I don't even know if they during that long period of time, I don't even know if they showed college football on television, bro. I'm just speaking on some of the numbers that I read as far as the nation, the normal viewing, right? I mean, they can't even hardly fill up. They can't even fill up stadiums. I mean, so, and I think it's because it has become extremely regional.
Yes. Yeah. And this is going down another rabbit hole.
Yeah, I know.
The Big 12 has a big issue with every other viewership outside of Colorado in the conference right now. That needs to change. The numbers of the viewership of what I think is a really entertaining brand of football, not enough people are watching it, and that's something that needs to get fixed. But I got to ask you about this, Raw, before we get into some more of the Colorado season wrap up. What are your thoughts on Bill Belichick coming to UNC, man?
It's weird, bro. First off, I thought he was doing UNC a favor, but they paid him $10 million a year. And I think, if I remember correctly, there's a thing though in his contract that makes it even more weird. I think after June 1st, his buyout is $1 million, which tells me that if the NFL job comes open, I'm going to take it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think I don't necessarily like it, but I mean, let me back it up. I don't necessarily know if it's going to be good for Belichick. I kind of feel like Stephen A. Smith on that. I feel like that's beneath him. But I get it, right? I get it. I think coaching college football is a terrible job anyway, but you know how I feel about that. But bro, today, no, ain't no way in where I could do it. But
I'm excited for it, man. I think
really,
yeah. Like at first when I heard about it, I'm like, man, that's crazy. But
yeah.
But then I listened to some of the interviews that he did. I watched the entire press conference. I've listened to some interviews with Michael Lombardi, you know, who's obviously going to be joining him. And I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be really interesting. I think UNC, it was a genius move for them because similar to Colorado, I feel like they've already won. Now they're relevant. Now they're going to be a destination for some players. Again, it's going to be a really unique environment where a specific type of player is going to be, you know, cut for that type of environment and others might not. But I think that he's okay with it feeling a little bit more professionalized, and I'm interested to see how it works. I mean, he's going to get the full control, the full power to do things how he wants to, and maybe a little bit more so than what the NFL was willing to give him in that sense. So I'm excited to see how it works out. I think that, like, literally, I know it's a meme, but the fact that he does have a 24-year-old girlfriend does tell me that he can relate with younger people.
I did not know that. Is that true?
Yeah, that they've been dating for like a year.
You serious?
I'm dead serious.
Get out of here, Dave. What?
Yeah.
Huh. That's a whole different box that I kind of want to go down, but don't leave that alone. Wow, that is surprising. Yeah, I agree. I don't think he's a bad coach. I just didn't want to see him do that. I just didn't want to see him there. But I think Bill Belichick's the greatest coach I've ever seen. Coach, people want to credit Tom Brady. Just to let you all know, Bill Belichick got done so wrong on that Tom Brady transaction, right? He didn't get what Green Bay got when they let go of Aaron Rodgers. He didn't get what other teams get when you let go of one of the greatest, best quarterbacks in the league. So he got zilch for that, which killed him and helped him win a Super Bowl because, actually, what should have happened is you should have took some of them first-round draft picks. You couldn't have got the offensive lineman and or traded for a player, which hurts the team, like a Mike Evans or Godwin, right? That's what killed Bill Belichick. But that's neither here nor there. I'll keep it moving. Yeah, I just hope, bro. I hope he does well, man. I'm a Bill Belichick fan. I like him, right?
Yeah.
Because I like Bill Parcells.
Yep.
So I like that kind of football, and it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Shout
Bill
out to
Belichick's my kind of coach, man. I like him.
Yeah. Hey, what if he asks Nick Saban, hey, will you come be a consultant?
Oh, my God, dude.
You ain't got to be there every day, whatever. Bro, what if he asks him, bro?
Yeah, I think it's going to be great. And, you know, he's bringing in Freddie Kitchens to run the offense again. I feel like, you know, some of these guys, they might get cooked as coordinators at the NFL level or head coaches, but we've seen with Pat Shurmur and, you know, like, again, Bill O'Brien, some of these guys, like college, you can do just fine. You can be competent at the college level. I can't wait to see what he does, what kind of quarterback he brings in. And I wish that he would have a documentary crew in there every day to put the day up on YouTube, because I am dying to see what he is saying to those players every single day, how he's relating with these guys. I am dying to see this type of environment, man.
Well, hey, I'm right there with you. I agree. I would want to see that, but it's Bill Belichick. That absolutely. If it's one thing you can guarantee, that ain't happening.
It's killing me.
Oh.
It's killing me, man. But I think, man, credit to UNC. Again, I think it's a win-win for Belichick, man, because if there's one league to go in there and compete very quickly, and he has the advantage, guys, where UNC wasn't a 1-11 team. He doesn't have to completely gut the roster. He doesn't. I'm sure there's more talent there than there was, on Colorado's 1-11 team. So I think he's got a quicker path to success, and I think he's playing in a conference in which, if you win an ACC title in, the next 2 years, that's massive. And then Steve Belichick takes over. Isn't his son named Steve? I forget. I know his dad was named Steve, but then his son takes over. It's whatever. I don't know if that was true or whatnot, that he's the coach in waiting. But I just think it's fun, and maybe it really is just a new chapter that re-energizes him. And I think it's cool for college football, man. I have to admit, I'm really rooting for it to be successful.
Oh, well, me too. Now I'm on your team on that one. As a matter of fact, I need to look at some odds for this coming up season for him, so I can make some money off of him. Yeah, I'm right there with you.
He's going to coach circles around some of these guys with lesser talent. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, I do too, bro.
Yeah,
I do too.
And it's kind of that's funny, but it kind of surprises me that I've seen like a lot of people, even some of my friends. I won't name drop them, but a lot of people just saying in Buff Nation that they think it's going to be a disaster. I mean, if there's any fan base that I feel like should look at different things with an open mind and an entrepreneurial perspective, it should be Buffs fans, right? That see the potential and the payoff in this whole thing. Again, I watched their entire hour-long press conference, a UNC football press conference. I've never done that in my life.
Yeah, it's gonna be good stuff, man. It's gonna be good stuff. I'm happy for it. I'm happy for it.
Yeah,
but you are what? Oh, my fault. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was about to open the door again. So hey, Dave,
yes.
What else is the wrong? What else was I wrong about?
Man,
that what you want to talk about?
Yes, yeah, that we want to talk about. Well, let's just get to it, man.
I'm sorry, my bad. Wrong program.
Yeah. You didn't believe this team would do shit this year.
I did not think they would win 9 games. I absolutely did not. I think I did pick 6. I think
you teetered on 6-6. I think maybe 7-5 if I want to give you the benefit of the doubt, man.
Yeah.
But
no, ain't no way. There's no way in the world I thought that they would have done.
And what was the difference? Why were you
when
wrong?
You asked me that? When you asked me that, you should have asked me that before we got on here. But it's honestly the same reason that you know about that you ain't really saying. Like, let me ask you something. No, let me ask you this question. I'll answer this question when you answer that. I'll answer this question so you can understand what I'm saying. This year, coming into the season, who did you have winning the Big 12? You can say Colorado. That's fine. I don't care.
I think I had Utah, didn't I?
Okay, cool. Who'd you had coming in second?
I don't know if I had a second place.
But if you had a thought about it at the beginning of the season, who'd you probably have as second? Oklahoma State?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, cool. Oklahoma State. So what about where would Kansas State fall?
Right around there.
So that's what we got wrong.
Oh, wow. So you're saying, man, Colorado played to the level that you thought it's just their schedule was just way weaker than what you were expecting. That's what you were saying.
I'm saying that we missed it, right? We missed it.
Oh man,
you don't think so? Whoa! Come on, man. We gotta be honest.
You kind of just knocked me out. I'm feeling woozy after just hearing that, man. I feel like
so. You don't think we missed it,
man? No, man, because I feel like this conference still had really like damn good teams in it
this season.
Yeah,
but who's good, Dave?
Well, I guess it's the teams that we didn't play. Arizona State, I think, is really damn good. I think BYU was really damn good. Man, who else? Who else did we play that ended up? I mean, Kansas was good for they were elite for like a 4-game stretch, and then they sucked. But we thought that they would be good. I mean, we got the version of them that we thought that they were going to be playing at all year. Yeah.
This is before the season. Can you still hear me, Dave?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is before the season.
Tech
don't start at top. Start at bottom. Can you read it?
Yeah.
BYU, Houston, plus 12,000. Houston plus 11,000. Arizona State plus 10,000. 4.5 wins. Cincinnati plus 7,000, 5.5. Baylor plus 6,000, 5.5. Colorado 3,500 plus 5.5. What are we talking about, Dave?
But what does that matter, man? Didn't you watch the games? We had some really damn good teams.
Yeah, and and the games was terrible. I'm like, what are you doing? Oh my God! I'm like, bro. Come on, you gotta admit that. You gotta admit that.
Dude, I'm gonna fight you on this. Baylor was better than expected. Texas Tech was better than expected.
Hold on, Dave. Everybody at the top was better than expected.
Not everybody at the top. Well, not with this graphic, but yeah. But
Arizona State, BYU, Iowa State, Colorado, Baylor. Them the top 5.
Yeah, but then if you're looking at our schedule, you could just take Utah and say, okay, they were expected to be good, but they sucked. And Baylor was expected to really suck, and they were like what we'd expect Utah to be, right?
Okay, I get it. I see what you're doing now. I see what you're doing. What you're saying is just because the names doesn't say that they are good, what it means is that the teams that play is actually good. So you're saying just because Utah ain't good, that doesn't mean BYU can't be. Right.
Like Arizona State isn't a legit conference winner.
I would 100% agree overall with what you just said. But bro, when do the name a time? Anytime? Well, you ain't gonna know that because I don't know it off the top of my head. But one-offs are good, right? A one-off is okay, right?
Mm-hmm.
A 2-off. All right, we got a coincidence. 3-off, bro. At some point, we got to say, okay, something's messed up. Bro, like TCU getting to the championship, that's your 1-off. You be like, okay, right? But it's like TCU, Texas, and Oklahoma State made the 14 playoffs, bro. That's what it's like.
Dude, I at the end of the day, we can't fight. And Rawhide, I'll never be able to prove it to you, because the name brands weren't good this year, But at the end of the day, Ralphie comes here too with the truth, man. 2-2 against the SEC this year, and you're gonna see Arizona State win a playoff game, man. I'm telling you, man, right now they are going to win it with the worst roster in college football, maybe coming into the preseason, and Kenny Dillingham's just done a phenomenal job, man. But I know you don't want to say it's because Colorado was better than expected. Is that?
Oh, wait! I thought I started off with that. I didn't start off with that.
Oh, I guess not, man.
I thought I said, yeah, okay, yeah. I mean,
people are wanting you to admit that, that you were.
I was wrong about what? That I predicted the record that they didn't. Okay, I was wrong about. I didn't get the record right. All right, fine. All right, I don't have a problem. That's facts. I mean, what do you want me to say to that? I don't know what to say. Right, Dave? I mean, if that's what they want me to say, okay, cool. I was wrong about the record. But hold on, but Dave, this is the thing. This is the only pushback I got on that. When I have a conversation like I'm having with you, they won't admit that they was wrong about what they thought was gonna happen. I was like, bro, you won't even. I'm like, I'm wrong. I'm giving you context as to why I was wrong. But they can't talk to me. I can't never get nothing out on the other side of it. I'm like, what am I saying? Is it crazy?
As much as people will beat up on me for saying this, bro, you're not crazy, man. You're not crazy. That's why I like having you on the show now.
Yeah. But Dave, everybody know me. Colorado had an excellence. Oh my God, bro. I'm happy about it. There is absolutely nobody that's currently listening to the show or will listen to this show today other than nobody will be happier. Nobody's happier than me.
You put your money where your mouth is.
Thank you, bro. Bro, there is absolutely not a fan watching that is more happy than me.
Yes. Okay. I want to get into some of the specifics on some of the things that we thought would go right or wrong. I just, I got to come out here and just say, man, I thought our offensive line would be much better with running the ball. I thought that, we could possibly see an all-conference mention from DT2, Khalil Benson, and that man ended up getting benched. That was tough to watch. That was tough to watch, but I do feel somewhat justified in saying that I thought that he was a better guard than tackle, so I will be right there. But yeah, the lack of run game on the offensive line side was still poorer than I thought. But thank God the pass blocking got better as the year went on, I thought. And, Philip Houston proved me wrong because I thought he was a dead weight on the offensive line coming into the year.
You thought he was dead weight?
I didn't want another 280-pound guy starting on the offensive line. Dude, I am traumatized from Jack Bailey.
I got you on that. Yeah, I thought the offensive line did. Seaton. Oh, that's your All-American. Seaton's going to be your All-American. Yeah. Okay. But I thought the offensive line was better this season than they were last.
When you watched it, it was different. Now, Alfarou's talking about the sacks. I still feel like the pass protection was on a totally different level this year. But we still thought this was something that we were right about. We still thought Shedeur would be sacked over 30 times this year, and I think that's what happened.
Yeah.
But it was enough to put up around 31 points a game, I think is what we were around what we were right about a lot of stuff this year, man. I feel like with how we thought the offense was going to go.
But I totally agree with you. I think the offensive line, I thought the offensive line performed okay. But I ain't gonna get into that. There are some things that could have been done where the offensive line would have looked even better. I'll just leave it at that. So, I'm talking about from players. I'm just strictly talking about players right on this one. So I thought the offensive line did okay. I thought they was gonna perform like they performed as I thought they would have. I don't think people truly understand how different. Y'all. No, I'm saying y'all, not you, Dave, but and I guess I'm talking to some of the extreme crazy fans, but I don't think people understand the difficulty or how difficult it is for an offensive line to work as a cohesive unit. Yeah. See, and I think what happens, Dave, and I know this ain't what you're trying to do. I think what happens is people get caught up. A lot of people don't watch college football. They watch big games or big teams. So what happens is they get a misperception in their mind that you watching
Texas.
Tennessee play, Tennessee play in Rutgers and the quarterback standing back there for 4 seconds and ain't moving, and you assume that that's how it's supposed to work. That's just not really how it is. And I think people do use that position group injustice, right? Injustice on how sometimes they critique them. Anyway, that's all I got to say. I'll just say that.
Man, I got to get to this super chat. Oh, holy moly. Old man, you did not have to do this, man. You are way too generous. Thank you so much. Let's get into this bet because, yeah, I got to connect with Coach Hayes. Of course, I'm going to honor my side of the bet right now. But old man with the $100 super chat. Thank you. Can't say that enough. He says, can't wait to see you put on that University of Miami helmet, Dave. I had a bet with Coach Hayes since the spring, I think, about who would have the better record, Miami or Colorado. Whoever lost would have to come on the show, wear a helmet of the opposing team. Just it's just a fun bet. So, Coach Hayes and I, we are due for collaboration, no doubt about it. And I can't wait to put on that Miami helmet. But I do kind of wonder, we didn't talk about the specifics on this, Raw. When, there's been a handful of times I've talked with Coach Hayes on the phone about it, but we never talked about it if what happens if there's actually a wash at the end of the season, right? Because Colorado and Miami could end up with the same record if Miami drops this bowl game and Colorado wins the Alamo Bowl, which I will be attending. What do we do then?
Oh, y'all counting bowl games in the record prediction? That's all right. Okay.
At least I'm changing the bet. I'm changing
the
bet.
Hey, get what you can. Get what you can. Get what you can. Get what you can, brother. Get what you can. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I ain't mad at you for it. I guess I'm kind of thrown off. I'm sorry. I don't mean to do that. I said, what did I say about the offensive line? That they did better than they did last year, right?
Yeah. I thought that's what I think that they were about average.
Yeah, I think that's what we're saying.
They were better in the pass game.
Yeah,
and still not great in the run game.
I thought they were with that. I thought they were what I thought. Anyway, I think some people misunderstood what I said, or we said, so that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, oh, I got one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I guess I still don't agree. Are you gonna say something about the defense?
No, I was gonna stick on the offensive side of the ball.
Okay, go ahead. What else you got? Oh, the DeJounte Wester, is that one?
Yeah, that's exactly who I was gonna talk about, man. I mean, it would have been great to see Jimmy stay healthy because I think it would have been a little bit clearer, but or a little bit closer rather of a race between the more productive wide receiver, Horn or Wester. But yeah, Wester was that guy, man. And I think right now I have hope that a lot of guys will get drafted this year from the Buffs. Maybe we could see like 5 or 6 guys get picked depending on how all this post or pre-draft stuff goes. But if there's one guy that I feel like is a lock to get drafted after Shedeur and Travis, it's LeJounte Wester. That's kind of how I feel about his year. What'd you think about that?
You think? Well, who you got? Who you think gonna get drafted again?
Wester. I think he'll get drafted.
Okay. You got anybody else?
Shedeur and Travis.
Yeah.
Obviously. Those other guys. So it's gonna be tough. Because Jimmy Horn is really tough because he's been hurt through a lot of his college career. But if he runs in like the 4.2s, like I think he gets drafted, like based on some of his testing stuff. Like you're telling me Mark Davis isn't saying draft that dude on day 3 sometime. That dude runs a 4.25 and he picks Shedeur. Like that's kind of how I feel about it. Will Shepard, I feel like he's gonna be there. Who else? I would like to see Cameron Silman-Craig drafted. I know that he's a little undersized, but I think that he can do it. I think anybody that got an East-West Shrine Bowl invite's got a good chance of getting drafted. Maybe with an outside chance a little bit to Shiloh, gonna be honest. I think his odds are more so in favor of being a UDFA right now than being drafted. It's kind of how I feel.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but yeah, what do you think about that?
I got Shedeur, Travis. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Wide receiver, Senior year, 800 yards receiving, 5'10", 160 pounds, 162 pounds. How many of those getting drafted in the NFL? That's a slot guy.
Oh, you're talking about Wester? You're only getting drafted if you have insane production, which is what I feel like he did. Like
880?
If you look at what he did at FAU and then with this, because I think some guys would get drafted just based off of his FAU production. I feel that. And of course, depending on how he tests. But when you look at how Travis Hunter was the Heisman winner and he still put up double-digit touchdowns, I think he still tied or had a career high in touchdowns this year as a slot guy. Still very productive. Like I don't think that. I think it just depends on what you want. Do you want a guy like from Illinois who's a 4-year starter in is it Pat Bryant, right? You know, that traditional X type of wide receiver. Is that what you need? Or do you need a guy who's like super shifty, really good route runner, slot guy, can do a little bit on special teams in LeJontay? I think it's really going to come down to what teams need. But I think he's got the profile and production to justify it being a draft pick. That's just me, though.
No, I mean I get what you say. I get what you're saying. I'm just saying this. Well, this is the deal. I think sometimes we forget about like one day we were talking about safeties, right? And I'm like, safeties is not that pick. They don't pick a lot of safeties, right, in the draft.
They don't even pay safeties anymore,
right? And they turn corners into safety. So I guess the point that the point I'm trying to make with this is that I think sometimes we don't realize that some positions have more value than others, right?
Right.
So like when I'm developing this opinion about this particular player here, I think, and I'm not saying that he's not, but I think the biggest thing that's going against him is that he's a small guy.
Yes.
Like he's not built like Jimmy Horn, right? He's a Jimmy Horn. He's a small guy. He has a extremely small stature. And they got him listed at 5'11", 167, and we all know what that is. Yeah. So at the combine, he's probably going to show more like 5'9.5", something like that. I think that's hard, bro. I think that's hard. That's hard, bro. That's hard, bro. That's hard, bro. That's hard. Because not a lot of slots get drafted anyway, right? And if you are a slot, you kind of like the dude that Baltimore drafted at BC, but he played a lot of outside. So you see what I'm saying?
Flowers. Yeah. Lab McConkey.
Yeah. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't know if he's like, for instance, like with Zay Weaver, like obviously Zay was, I think, right on the cusp of being drafted. And he's kind of around that same size too, maybe 6 feet, but still a slender guy. You know, like for instance, I think, his $250,000 signing bonus was equivalent to what you would get being like a late fifth round pick or so. Or maybe it's all the same in the 5th round, but all that to say, I think him having to recover from that surgery, not being at any of these pre-draft All-Star Bowls, not being at the combine, like all that stuff hurts him. I think if Zay, obviously already at the East-West Shrine, if he gets a combine invite, does well, I think he's got the opportunity to do better than what Zay did, because he was also more productive than him.
Yeah, Zay 6'1"? 6'1"?
I think they measured him at 6 foot, and like 170 pounds or something like that. You know, so. Yeah, that's just kind of how I feel about it.
I mean, he could. I would like it, but you have to start looking back, right, at how many of those like if you name me 3, I'm like, oh, man, but how many Westerns are playing college football, right? So now he got to get one of those 3 slots. I'm like, that fits his kind of stature. I'm like, that's hard. That's extremely hard. I mean, I want a young man to get drafted. I would like all of them too, you know, but. Yeah, I think it's gonna be tough on him. Shepard, I'm not even gonna play with that one. He's not gonna get drafted. And I don't think he will. And who on defense?
I mean,
BJ Green.
Again, talk about BJ.
BJ Green, maybe, but the problem with BJ Green is you don't even know what position he plays. But I need the Dave Talks Broncos right now. So, what position do he play?
I don't know, man. I don't know. And you might see guys who had double-digit sacks this year go day 3. So, I think it's going to be tough for him as an edge. The more that I dive into it over like the last couple of weeks I've done with the draft, it's like for instance, again, all this stuff will change, but it's like Tyler Barron from Miami, he's going to be available day 3 probably, or like very late round 3. Like I think he's a totally different caliber player right now. So again, it is very hard to get drafted. And I think we will find that out as the season goes on, or as the offseason goes on. But my hope is that these guys shine in the East-West Shrine Bowl. We see some more, man. I just want to see some more. But you're right, man. Cam Silman-Craig, I think he's going to be a good NFL player, maybe a little undersized. But, for instance, right now the Broncos got a undrafted safety from Texas signed to an extension right now, and he's starting for him. So you can get good safety play. And I think we have 3 undrafted safeties on the active roster right now. Just how the position works. I mean, that's how it's been for Denver, man. Like they don't, and you see that trend with the NFL, man. They're not paying safeties. They're just not doing it anymore. Yeah. So
bro, I'm telling you, the NFL, and I think what happens is when people hear us talk like we're talking, and we talk and BJ, my point on BJ Green and Wester, right? This has really less to do about ability and more about, do you fit what they're looking for, right? Because once upon a time, they wanted a tall 6'5" quarterback, big arms. There was a particular type of look that they look for. And unfortunately, like with some of these people that come out, a lot of these young men, you got to be just so good to overcome, I think, what people's not looking for. I've asked people what position would BJ Green play, Dave, in NFL?
Yeah.
What would he be?
I don't know. I think he might be more of a tweener. So
I don't even, is he quick enough to be an off-ball linebacker? I don't know. But he's too big for that. But so you don't even know what, outside linebacker, he is a short outside linebacker, bro.
But this is the reason why I believe that if Jimmy Horn tests well, man, he'll get drafted. When you have
Tutu Atwell?
Tutu Atwell was a 2nd-round pick, man. Just purely based off his speed.
Okay. What? Okay, I'm good.
That's how I feel like it's going to come down to Jimmy's testing, man.
Yeah. See how we do it? Though we picked like 1, 2, maybe 3, 4, and we went over like a few years. That I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm saying I wouldn't like those odds. I think you have low odds, bro.
Yeah. But I am by no means an NFL GM. We'll let the NFL GM.
Neither am I. Neither am I.
Yeah, we'll let him figure it out. But man, I guess something else that I guess I was right about, man.
What's that?
Carr Stoudemire is pretty damn good this year. I mean, he had maybe one rough game, but man, I wonder for his sake, man, if he just transfers out, because I feel like people are just going to be treating him like Shiloh Sanders this coming year, man. He's just going to be the scapegoat for the defense. But man, I want him to stay here. All conference safety next year. You've heard it here first with my 2025 takes. Carter Stoudemire is one of the best defensive backs in the Big 12 next year.
Well, you already know I said that he'd be a 1st-round draft pick when he goes out, but when he leaves the school. Now I did say that when they had him playing corner, but I still think he has great ability. But I
think our defense played the best with him.
Why do they not like Carter, bro? I don't know what they don't. What is it that they don't see in the young man?
Dude, this is what I don't get. Everybody hated Carter in the offseason. Everybody's pumped about Shiloh. Then once the season starts, everybody's like bench Shiloh for Carter. And then Carter's playing really well. And then we put Shiloh back in and people are begging for Carter. Then we see more of Carter. And then people are like, man, this guy sucks. Get him off the team. I don't understand it, man.
Is anybody going to talk about before Shiloh came back and a discussion was had, should he come back or should you lead Carter in? We ain't gonna touch that one. I guess people don't want to.
Oh man, yeah. I was wrong about that one. I said leave Shiloh in. Leave Shiloh in. Man, I was wrong about that, man. I think Carter was the better safety, man. I can say it now. I'm sorry, Shiloh, but this is my prediction. This is what I want to happen so bad, Raw. I think it would be so funny. Is first overall, Shedeur Sanders, Mr. Irrelevant, Shiloh Sanders.
What, Dave? What'd you say? What? Say that one more time, Dave, because I didn't hear you right.
The draft with the Sanders kids. I think that would be awesome.
Oh, first and last. Oh, Dave, you are okay. What? No, hey, bro, you crazy, Dave. You crazy, Dave. You insane on that one. You insane on that one. Why y'all be giving Shiloh? Look, I have become a Shiloh Sanders apologist. Because
you almost have to if
bro, y'all just so hard on it, bro.
Football fan, because right through the mud, man.
I know, bro. They hard on Shiloh, bro. They so hard on it.
He's a good college safety. He's a good college safety, man. That's how I feel about him. But I want him to get drafted just for that, man. Like, who I think it was perfect, man. Yeah, Shedeur number 1, Shiloh, Mr. Irrelevant, and people are gonna. Shiloh might hate me for this, man, but hey, I got you getting drafted. That's how I feel about it. I got you getting drafted. That's nice. Only 250 or so people get that every year.
But do you want to get? I don't know what draft. I'm just using the example when you said first and last. I'm just simply going off of that. So, I mean, I wouldn't even want to get drafted last. For the
honestly,
most part,
man, by the time you're like a 6th or 7th round pick, of course, it's nicer to be drafted because the team is likely going to have a little bit more loyalty towards you and just like a path to a role on the active roster, right? But in terms of contract and getting paid quicker, well, unless you're one of the top UDFAs, Raw, it's probably in your advantage to still get drafted at the end of the 7th round, because that signing bonus, that guaranteed money, will still be higher than what your guarantees are as a UDFA, unless you're one of the rare guys still getting $100,000 bonus. But what is nice is that if you're a UDFA, you're only under team contract control for 2 years before you hit free agency, as opposed to 4 if you're a draft pick. So that's the only advantage you get if you're a UDFA, is that you're up for a nice contract if you end up balling out and beating the odds early on.
Well, but I guess the point I was only making is that when you're drafted. You got to be there, right? If you go undrafted and you're a fringe guy, you have the ability to go where you think you're needed. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Which increases your odds on making the team.
Yes. Yeah, you can pick and choose, figure out. I mean, that's what Philip Lindsay did. I think that he had a slightly larger signing bonus offered as an undrafted free agent from Baltimore, but saw that the Broncos running back room was total, booty. And Melvin Gordon just, I guess he was signed later. And so, then he put together 2 straight 1,000 rushing yard seasons. And, we haven't had that from the Broncos ever since. We got a terrible running back room, man, right now. So
man, I sure would have liked to know what happened, baby, because he was the new age thing, and next thing I know, he was gone after a couple of years.
The problem with Philip Lindsay, as much as I love him, man, the dude had hands of stone, couldn't pass protect, and he couldn't break a tackle. So although the 2 things that he did were just amazing, is that he would kill it in that zone, and never fumbled in his whole NFL career. So really dependable, just being like a straight up running back, running the ball, being dependable, but couldn't do the other things to justify staying on the field for longer than that. And that's what it was.
Hey, because they did the story on him and everything. Hey, he was a big deal, man.
Yeah. It was fun, man. Like, he was a great story. Gave us something to root for when the Broncos were sucking. But here we are, man. Dude, what'd you make of this? I need to ask you this. Us getting Jaheim Otis out of the transfer portal, big boy. He's like 325 pounds. What'd you think about that?
I think that was a good pickup for the university. I think that's the position groups that they need to stick to and invest a lot of money into. And I think it was a good pickup for him, bro. I really do.
Yeah, man, I'm thrilled about it.
So you think he's what? You think he's Matt Barnes 2.0?
He's better. He's better, man, because he didn't really have much playing time this year. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he redshirted. Yeah,
he redshirted. Okay, that's good to know. So maybe it was like a scheme thing with Kalen DeBoer, whatever. Maybe, I don't know if it was a medical redshirt or whatnot, but that dude had almost 30 tackles as a true freshman in the SEC in 2022. 30 tackles. And then he, damn near replicated that his sophomore year 2 years ago. So if he's a good scheme fit here, this is a Big 12 positive show. But if you can do that against the SEC, I feel very good about how you're going to do it in the Big 12, right? But we don't have to go down that rabbit hole too much because, Big 12, best conference in college football. And I feel like he's going to be fantastic here, man. That's how I feel about it. So definitely more productive than guys that we've brought over from the SEC, like Amari McNeil, who's done very well. And then let's see what we can get from another year of Anquan Barnes, Torian Carter. I really like, I loved having Nwankwo here. He was awesome, but it's going to be nice, man, to have some starters in the interior D line that are like just scary to look at, and I feel like he is that.
Okay, all right, man, that'd be a good thing. I mean, hey, he is a first off the bus type of guy, so I give you that, man. But I'm interested to see what they do this season in the recruiting. They need to add about 2 more big men. I don't know what the money looking like, but add a few more big men on the
we need a tackle line. Dude. We need a tackle.
Yeah. And the offensive line and work on it. I don't know.
Yeah. I like this Carter Miller guy that we brought from ULM, but I mean, your guess is as good as mine who is going to end up on the starting line. Like I don't really have an idea, but I like that this guy, he's pretty quick, seems a little bit more quick-footed than some of our other interior linemen this year. So, because we did see that a little bit. Sometimes, they'd be a little slow out of their stance, and it was almost like a repeat of Isaiah Jada from last year. But we didn't have that happen as much this year, which was good. And Carter Miller.
I got to give somebody some credit, Dave. I got to give this man a credit. Jordan Seaton.
Let's go.
The most impressive thing I've seen on that team outside of the obvious, right? Bro, now, he likes to hold and grab. I got to give him that. But if they don't call it, you didn't do it.
Exactly, man.
Yeah, so, bro, I am so impressed, and I'm a hard person to impress. I think that young man did an outstanding job, bro. I think he did an outstanding
Coach
job.
Woldholt should get an extension just based off how he performed this year.
Yeah. You gotta give shout out.
He was so dependable, man. And I think that's why the offensive line it just looked so much better when you were watching it, man. Because Shador didn't have to freak out about his blind side constantly this year. Like he's one of the guys on this team where I just truly don't feel like you could. Let's say money isn't an issue, Ra. I don't know if there's a guy in the portal that you can bring in to be better than him. I feel like he's truly irreplaceable on this team right now. And
Jordan
it's really great. Yeah. It's great to have that at the left tackle.
Yeah. Now, somebody did mention, I said Seaton would be Tank 2.0.
Oh, yes. I wanted
hold on. Let me just, before we get through, I think they were about the same.
All right, I'll pull up the stats.
I think they're about the same. But people got to understand that is outstanding as a freshman, true freshman. Yeah, that's the thing about it. I just people don't understand that. They
All
don't.
right. Do we want to let's just look at the overall blocking grades? Okay, we're going with PFF. All right, that's what we're gonna do. Dude, I love how Kenobi brought this up. I was going to bring this up and then I forgot because this was one of the ones that made me go, huh? Okay, so this year, Jordan Seaton, see this, gave up 2 sacks, 23 pressures, really good. Can't really measure statistically at all in the run, but 59.7 in the run, 79.1 in pass. Okay. So remember all those, Ron. Now we're gonna go and take a look at Jared Christian Lichtenhand. And you were saying last year, so we're gonna look at last year's, right?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, not even close. Not even close, man. So
All right, read them out.
okay, so he was about the same in the run, 58, 64.5 in pass, gave up 7 sacks.
What was Seaton in pass? What was Seaton in pass? What was Seaton in pass?
He was 79.1.
And he's what is this in pass?
Jared Christian Lichtenhand. Do I have it pulled up here?
Yeah, I can't see it though.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's 64.5. So,
gotcha. Okay. All right. I'm good so far. Go ahead.
Yeah. So basically, Jordan Seaton, he was in like 3 different tiers higher than Jared Christian.
Oh my god! He's gonna say that. Now, see, I mean, but he oh my god, are you crazy?
Or 71.9. Thank you, Alfaru. I know you're always the stats guy.
Hey, anyway, the point being, look, no one's trying to take that. I don't know why.
No.
Again,
no,
let me repeat.
70. No, he was 79.1. Yeah, I got Alfaru. Got Alfaru corrected. That might be a first.
So again, even being Tank is outstanding for a true freshman. That's what people don't. That's what I think people are pushing back on.
Okay.
So okay, fine. He gave.
Man, I'm not letting this one fly. So essentially, you were saying that as long as Jordan Seaton is an absolute trash, he's he's good. Man, come on.
Oh my god. Okay. You win. I got you win. You win, man. You win because you win. You win, bro. You win. I'm tapping on that one.
Yeah. Let's go.
I don't. Yeah. I'm just saying.
Man, I love it. I love it though. He was much better, and at the end of the day, we were riding the offensive line. We still gave up a bunch of sacks, but it was better. It was better. And
Kenobi said, but Seaton played better than Tank, so you're wrong. All right, bro. If that's how you see it, bro. If you look at it in the manner that 9-10 is better is more than 9. And that's all you got in it. I ain't got nothing to say. Y'all don't know what to talk to you about, bro. I don't know what to say. So you're right.
Now we got to take the victory lap on this one.
Y'all can have it, bro. Y'all can have it, bro.
Because we were, I'm not going to name anybody by names, but there was a certain collective of people that would maybe just see one video or see one person have an opinion that might have been different from myself or Rawhide. It wasn't just one person who kind of put this out there. I do want to say, but man, we were getting a lot of people come December, come January saying, man, get Savion Washington off this team. This man is absolute trash at tackle. 52 sacks. We can't have anybody return from this line. Absolutely terrible. And Khalil Benson, for instance, could be somebody that's going to be an upgrade. He gave up 1 or 0 sacks at Indiana last year, but a lot of that had to do with the certain offense and the certain quarterback that they had of why that man wasn't sacked at all. And what did we see this year, man? What did we see this year? Savion Washington transfers out. That man, I felt like that poor man wasn't even given a shot to compete for the right tackle position. He transfers out. And what does he do at Syracuse? Gives damn good right tackle play this year. Damn good. I'll bring up the stats, but I just had to circle the wagons with this man because
thank you for giving us a win. I appreciate that.
We needed a win, man. We needed a win,
Oh, yeah. that did bother me. I didn't like that, but with Coach Prime, I guess that did bother me letting Savion go. But
yeah, 6'9", 340. 71.1 in pass, 63.5 in the run. Gave up 3 sacks this year on almost, at 960 snaps. Are you kidding me? Like, I would have totally taken that. 20 pressures on the year. 20.
He gonna get drafted, Dave.
And we just kicked him to the curb, dude. I mean, don't you remember when he got hurt with that high ankle sprain at the beginning of the year and we were begging him to come back? We just can't wait till Savion's back. He's our best offensive lineman. And then we just threw him to the wolves because he was playing with a high ankle sprain, because that was better than Isaiah Jada, over at right tackle. And, he was the one that got away. I wasn't really upset, in retrospect, like, Dylan Edwards leaving, man, it was whatever. Strange enough to see, I can't remember his name now, the safety who left for Milner Jones. He left for SMU. He barely got any playing time over there. That's kind of strange. But, I don't know. I think Coach Prime did a much better job this year. I think he learned from throwing the offensive line under the bus halfway through the year like he did last year. The play didn't get any better after those comments were made in the media. And it would have been great to have Savion Washington here alongside Jordan Seaton, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Speaking of, now, I gave Coach Prime an A+ last year on the job that he did.
Yeah. What grade do you give him right now?
Well, he got one more game.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Well, I already gave him an A+. He already gets an A+ from me. Yeah. Because we won like 8 games or more. That's really good, man. That's really good. I'm giving him. I know Lawrence won't like to hear that, but I'm giving him an A+.
I gave him an A+ last year, so it's gonna be interesting.
So, how do you feel about this BYU match? Are you gonna come to the Alamo Bowl by chance?
I don't. Honestly, I hadn't even decided yet.
Well,
I hadn't decided.
I could see y'all got ticket if there are tickets by where I am. That would be kind of.
As a matter of fact, I've been looking up bowl games to go to, but I hadn't figured out where I'm going yet. But yeah, Alamo. I mean, I don't know. I might. I don't know.
Okay, all right. But are you
Are you going? Are you going?
Yeah. The Alamo Bowl is just like 15 minutes down the road from me. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's gonna be fun. I had some family Christmas stuff going on that weekend, and so I had to get some permission to kind of move some things around. I was supposed to be in North Carolina that Saturday, but things have changed. And man, my family, they're wonderful. So going to the bowl game, that's going to be really fun. And I can't wait, man. I Buffs versus Mormons, that's going to be fun. And I'm just glad we're in a really good bowl that's going to pay us a nice little payout. And I would much rather play BYU than Syracuse. I know a lot of people wanted to go to the Holiday Bowl, but I give no craps about Syracuse. Give me BYU instead. I think that would be a fun matchup.
Do you think do they get the money, or does it go to the 12 pot to split?
I thought it went to the school.
I don't know.
If it just goes to the school, or if it just goes to the pot, man, like, then why does it mean anything playing in these games, I guess?
Well, I mean, the BCS does go to the pot. I mean, the playoffs, it does go to the pot.
Yeah, and that confused me because I feel like the individual schools should get a bonus.
Yeah, that ain't that way.
Wow.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, I do not have enough room to host anybody here, but I'll definitely be there, and hopefully can be tailgating for a while too, which will be a lot of fun. I love the Alamo Dome. I went to a UTSA football game earlier this year against FAU, and man, it was awesome. It's a fun experience, man. Want to get to the super chat. Don't know if you guys talked about, but apparently red shirts can play in bowl games. Yes, so Brandon Davis Swain, we could see him play. In retrospect, man, it's kind of a bummer that Keaton Wade burned his red shirt, because we didn't even make the college football playoff, man, with him playing those extra snaps. But one guy, man, that you were really pumped about to start this year, and I think that showed the development that you wanted to see and that you were expecting, Taj McCoy, man. What did you think of him this season?
Just made me mad that he didn't play more the previous season.
Yeah.
Excellent job. But I saw it in him, man. I think I think that young man got it, bro. I think he really has it, man.
Yeah. So right now, like, because I think we'll bring in like another edge or two to add depth to the room, but I feel like it's our strongest room right now. Who would you expect to be the starters right now at the edge position?
Taj McCoy, and I don't know who to be.
I think Sam.
You think him?
I mean,
Really?
I felt like he started most of the year for us. So, I mean, by Keaton Wade, I think Keaton Wade might have a little bit more wiggle in the pass rush at the edge position than Sam might, but I don't know. What do y'all think in the chat?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Which I got to, man, look, me and you gonna have to have a conversation off camera. Right.
Oh,
because
man.
I don't understand why they play. It don't matter. We'll talk later.
With their defensive alignment?
Yeah, bro, we gotta talk about that. We gotta talk about that later, bro.
Okay, we could talk about that later.
You apparently you must see it too or something. I'm just saying.
Well, I thought it worked out fine
this time,
and now we're adding meat, man. Jaheim Otis, we got the meats. We got the meats, man. I feel like the D line's going to be even better, man. Yeah, Arden Walker. Yeah, I feel like we got a solid 4D. That's how I feel about it. Now, linebacker is going to be a huge question. I mean, who knows what happens there?
You still don't know what's going to happen.
Dude, are you kind of surprised that Trevor Woods hasn't announced he's getting in the portal yet?
Is he not done?
Dude, I just thought about this. I just thought about this with Nikhai Hill-Green because he redshirted, man. He ended up redshirting. So Nikhai Hill-Green, with him entering the portal, not playing, we might see Trevor Woods start one more game at linebacker for him.
Hello, Dave. Is he not done this year?
No, because he redshirted.
He did, didn't he? I didn't know he redshirted though. I don't know about that one, bro. I am surprised he's not in the portal. I don't know what's up with that. What is it? Yeah, that's kind of weird to me too.
Yeah,
because he's not gonna play.
No, I think we'll still recruit better athletes at the position. Yeah. Like I think that's just what it is.
Yeah, he's out of position, man.
So, but Jeremiah Brown's returning. Did you see that?
Is he really?
Yeah. So he'll.
Man, I had so much high hopes for Jeremiah Brown.
I know. Well, this is his time in the Alamo Bowl. This is his time to shine because, yeah, we'll need somebody to play next to Bentley. So I hope he has a really good game, man. So that'll be something to watch because no Nikhai Hill-Green, and yeah. What section am I in? I think I'm in 139. So it's kind of like one of the corners in the lower bowl. I mean, I still want to spend some money, but I didn't want to spend like $500 to sit behind the bench, $800 to do that, So, yeah, maybe if Trevor wants to be a coach, maybe that's just why he sticks around.
Man, I felt so bad for Trevor, man. I remember the first time, and he was out there, man. He'd gained all the weight, and the first time I saw him, he was running. I felt so sorry for him, bro. I was just like, I feel sorry for you, man. Because just, that weight, he does not supposed to be that big.
I know. He put it on too quickly, man.
To be.
Yeah, he looked a little slower out there from what I remember, man.
Yeah, I felt bad for him, bro. I felt sorry for that, man. I looked up and said, ooh, that don't look good.
I know Brian Urlacher, but yeah, Brian Urlacher, he ended up redshirting this year, so we might get him back for the bowl game though. So that'll be cool. I know he's been practicing with the team. I think that's what people said. Like they've seen him in well-off videos and stuff like that through the season. So, we'll just have to see, man. But I'm looking forward to it. And by the way, I guess we got to leave this out on something that you were wrong on. It's only, I got to give my viewers, end this whole thing in a positive note, right? Because that's what they want to see. That's what they want to see, Rawhide. I'm sorry, man, but
am I not positive, Dave? I'm not.
No,
I thought
well, it's just it's just very weird. It doesn't make any sense to me.
I thought I was one of the most positive people out
here. I thought so. You put your money where your mouth is. You just
I know, right?
You just might think about things a little bit differently. But man, I love talking football with you. I think it's always a lot of fun. But how do you feel, man, about Shedeur and Travis setting the tone, playing in this bowl game? I love it.
See, there you go. Oh yeah, I love it too. We ended on a positive. I love it too, man. I mean, it's gonna show everybody else, all the other players, right? That just because you got status and all that, man, you know what I'm saying? You still can play and gonna get drafted high. You can still play in the ball. So I agree with you, man. Yeah, you're right.
I love to see it, man.
Yeah,
and I
that's
think,
good.
it just means a lot. It means a lot that they're gonna play. And I want to get this bowl win so bad. I know the bowl win might not hit for you like it would hit for me, if they win, but it would be very special. And I think it's just setting the right tone. I think now with NIL and guys getting paid, hopefully these things are structured to where these guys don't get that last paycheck or a significant portion unless they play in that bowl game.
You a hater, Dave.
What? You hate that?
That's hating, Dave.
No. If you're I understand. I understood the opt-out, man, if you're not getting paid for this, right? But if you're getting paid, you should have no issue on taking out insurance policies for like anything like this and making sure that you're playing in the postseason. I mean, it's not like the guys in the NFL. It's not like they make these huge bonuses for the most part playing their playoff games. Everybody gets the same game check in the playoffs. You don't see guys sitting out when they're in a contract year, when their team's in the playoffs because they want to be healthy for free agency. Hell no. This is kind of how I feel about it now. If guys continue to opt out while they're being compensated in college, I don't like it.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Cause we could go, because you can't pay them for playing. So you can't do that. So they would get paid anything. Second, they get money because of their name, image, and likeness. So it ain't the school paying them. That's me and you paying them.
Well, maybe not for Travis and Shedeur specifically, but I'm just talking more of the players in general. Like in general, most or more of the players in college football are compensated to some degree, so they should play. That's how I feel.
I got you. Bowl games. You know how I feel about bowl games. I think they're good. I watch it because I love football, but after I watch the game, I can't draw any conclusion from the game as far as who's better, who's worse than that. I just watch it for sheer entertainment.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? So I guess that's why I'm not that invested, because I'm like, even dudes, that some of the dudes that do play, they playing and ain't playing.
Yeah.
The playoffs has killed bowl games, bro.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. That's why they need to expand the playoffs so it can just include all the bowl games. That's what I would like. But hey, Ra, I think I'm going to wrap this up because I'm going to take a quick break and then, well, I don't know. I guess DNVR will be talking about it here. So maybe I'll get on here in a little bit for a commitment party. We got one of the top tight ends in the portal. You'll like this guy, Rawhide, if you haven't looked into him. Zach Atkins, Division II guy, Northwest Missouri State. Really good program over there. 6'5", 250 pounds. This dude can run a pretty advanced route tree for a tight end, man. Like, this guy can get deep. He's not just going out into the flats or, running like a little stick route. No, like this guy is a vertical threat. and can do some blocking as well. So you'll like this, man. I really do like the fact that we got Zach Atkins. That's a good omen, man, for what we're talking about. Rawhide style football, putting Julian Lewis under center, having a tight end that, that can play.
Beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yes. We love it, man. But Rawhide, thanks again so much for joining.
Hey, man, thank you, man. Hey, listen, it's been so long, man. We had a whole lot of catching up to do, as we see.
Oh, dude, so much. So I just appreciate your patience, man. And we gotta be doing this more regularly,
Yeah, we gotta get back to it. Yeah.
Hey, but yeah, if you're ever bored too, just you can always hit me up, man.
Well, bro, I know you so busy, bro. So
no.
We live two totally different lifestyles.
with how my brain works, it's got to be front of mind, dude. I forget so many things all the time. I'm just whatever's the newest thing or the newest piece of info is just what's on my mind. So many things just they fall in one ear out the other, man. So hit me up sometime too.
All right,
I miss the fellas.
For sure, I'll do that. But yeah, man, that's cool. After we get through with this, I'll be going live immediately. And
okay, what you gonna talk about?
Oh, they'll probably talk about what they didn't like me saying today, and because they're asinine and they lack the ability to comprehend, and they gonna say I ain't keep. So that's all. And I'm not talking about you, Al. Could you hear me? Could you still hear me?
Man, I love it. It's a beautiful thing. I want to give a shout out again to Old Man for the early Christmas gift, man. You did not have to do this, but thank you so much. It means a lot to support the channel. And Rawhide, I guess since our last collaboration, my channel's blown up, man. So maybe everybody really was right. They're like, Dave, you need to get Rawhide on here, much less. But we're not gonna let the numbers stop us, man, from giving y'all the truth on CU YouTube. No doubt about it. Thank you, QL, as well for the super chat. Rawhide, thanks again. Chat, thank you. I'll be back with a celebration on Zach Atkins. Sco Buffs.